The Mirror's Truth. The old house on Willow Lane creaked under the weight of its secrets, its warped wooden floors groaning as if burdened by memories too heavy to bear. For Riley, it was a refuge, a place to escape the world's judgment. She'd moved in 3 months ago, a trans woman starting fresh in a small town where no one knew her past. The house was cheap, its previous owners long gone, and the locals whispered about its bad energy. But Riley didn't care. She was used to whispers. She loved Clara from the moment they met at the corner cafe. Clara's laugh was like wind chimes, soft and fleeting, her hazel eyes warm with a kindness Riley hadn't felt in years. They'd spend evenings together, Clara sketching wildflowers while Riley read poetry aloud, her voice trembling with the vulnerability of being seen. Clara didn't flinch when Riley shared her truth, her transness, her fears. "You're you," Clara had said, brushing a strand of Riley's dark hair behind her ear. "That's all I need to know." But the house didn't approve. It started with the mirror in the upstairs hallway, a tall, ornate thing with a cracked silver frame. Riley avoided it at first. Mirrors had always been battlegrounds, reflecting a body that sometimes betrayed her soul. But one night as she passed it, the glass shimmered, and her reflection wasn't her own. It was a distorted version, her features warped, her eyes hollow, her body a grotesque caricature of who she'd fought to become. She stumbled back, heart pounding, but when she looked again, it was just her, pale and shaken. "Don't be ridiculous," she told herself, chalking it up to exhaustion, but the mirror began to haunt her. Each night it showed her something worse, her old name scrawled in blood across the glass, her reflection screaming silently, or worst of all, her body reverting, reshaping into the form she'd left behind. The house seemed to pulse with malice, the air thick with a presence that whispered, "You're not real." Clara noticed the change. "You're not sleeping," she said one evening, her hand cupping Riley's cheek. "What's wrong, love?" Riley wanted to tell her, but the words caught in her throat. How could she explain the terror of a house that hated her for existing? Instead, she kissed Clara, clinging to her warmth like a lifeline. The mirror's cruelty grew. One night it showed Clara, her throat slashed, her eyes accusing. Riley screamed, shattering a glass in her hand. The house laughed, a low rumble that shook the walls. She tried to leave, but the doors wouldn't open, the windows wouldn't break. The house wanted her to stay, to suffer. Desperate, Riley researched the house's history. She found stories of a previous owner, a man who'd lived alone, consumed by rage, who died in that hallway, cursing anyone who dared to defy nature. His hatred had seeped into the walls, the mirror his conduit. Riley realized it wasn't just her transness it despised, it was her love, her joy, her refusal to be erased. She told Clara everything. Clara didn't hesitate. "We'll burn that mirror to ash," she said, fierce and unwavering. They dragged it to the backyard, doused it in gasoline, and lit the match. The flames roared, but the mirror didn't crack. Instead, it screamed, a sound that clawed at their minds. Shadows poured from the glass, wrapping around Clara, pulling her toward the house. "No!" Riley lunged, grabbing Clara's hand, but the shadows were stronger. They dragged Clara inside, the door slamming shut. Riley pounded on it, sobbing, her fists bloody. "Give her back!" she screamed. The house answered with silence. Inside, Riley found Clara in the hallway, her eyes vacant, the mirror glowing behind her. "You don't belong," Clara's voice said. But it wasn't hers, it was the house, speaking through her. "You're a lie." Riley's heart shattered, but she saw the flicker of Clara's real self in her eyes, fighting to break free. "I am real," Riley whispered, stepping closer, her voice steady, despite her tears. "I am Riley, and I love you." She kissed Clara, pouring every ounce of her soul into it, defying the house's hatred. The mirror shrieked, its surface cracking as Clara gasped, her eyes clearing. The shadows recoiled, the house trembling as if in pain. They ran hand in hand as the house groaned and collapsed behind them, the mirror's shards glittering in the rubble. They didn't look back. In the dawn's light, Riley held Clara close, her heart raw but whole. The world could judge, the mirrors could lie, but their love was truth, and no house could take that away.